I'm not going to lie, it's been a bit of a day today. So it's actually possibly worked in my favour that there were no volunteers for CoComs tonight. But nonetheless, I'm here and we're ready for game week 9 of the latest round of Super League. I've had 2 requests for early starts, so I will action those accordingly as we look for a timely yet entertaining evening of your favourite retro fantasy football. I am starting with Vikings, who host East Coast. Going into the game, both sides inside the top 6. Last time out, Vikings winning 2-0 at home to Stanley. They keep the same 11. The only change is Baumer gets a place on the bench. As for East Coast, they equally go unchanged, including the subs bench, despite losing 1-0 last time out. So we are getting straight into the action and kicking off game week 1 as Vikings host East Coast. And an early red card, Lasisi sent off in just 8 minutes for Vikings. So both managers with the opportunity to change things here, but certainly not what Vikings would want coming up against such stiff opposition. Evening to Ian, who's first in the chat. Evening as well to Jamie and to Paul as well. Hope you are all well. Looking forward to the evening. There's Ross as well with a good evening message. And there's the other Ian as well. Evening, mate. Evening, Steve. Evening, Martin. Everyone rolling in for game number 1. You haven't missed too much because there was a red card within 8 minutes. And we're just waiting to see what the managers want to do, although I haven't seen them in the chat yet, so it might just be, I'll give Jens a minute. If not, I'll just centralise Ferdinand and we'll continue. There's Dimble, evening, mate. Obviously, this is your game, so if you want to do anything after the red card, you're more than welcome to. It is. It's not great. Tato's here. Jens has rolled in as well. No change unless you've got a red as well. No worries, mate. So just on Jens then as to what he would like to do with this. He hasn't got a natural centre-back on the bench. Even Alf. So we're going Koviak to Nedved's position. Nedved to left MC. Oh, okay, left wing back. So we're going like that. Martin saying no co-coms again. You'll end up with me every week if you don't get your act together. Yeah, no, there was. I went through the messages, but there was no volunteers for this game week, which is all right. You know, there's no expectation for people to take time out of their evenings to come and do this. It's always nice to not just listen to me rabbit on, but if no one's available, no one's available. That is how we continue then. Yellow card for Ferguson. And now an injury. It goes from bad to worse for Vikings. Emerson going off on the 25th minute. And again, there's not really a natural choice there. Does he bring Tomadera on and go two up top with the one, or does he put Prozek on and place Koviak behind an AM? It's a tough choice, this one for Jens. He's got a lot of quality on the bench, but a lack of versatile options, and he reacts accordingly in the chat. Baumer on swap with Nedved. Baumer, of course, who's coming on despite being orange injured himself. So let's see how he lasts. It looked like Vikings might take the lead, but Costa are ending the half strong. Although I say that, as we come towards half-time, Vikings again coming forward. And we get to half-time 0-0. 2 attempts for the home side, both on target, not converted. 3 for the away side, 2 on target, not converted. Pass completion very similar. Tackle completion very similar. And Coast winning the battle in the air. Looking at the Vikings ratings, he excused the CC because he only played 8 minutes. A couple of 6s there. And Jens already saying roll. Thank you very much. As for Coast, Alf saying well matched in the chat. So looking at the Coast team, the only 2 6s are for Kovalchuk, which is a shock for him, and Barry Ferguson, who is one of the 2 players on the yellow. Stanic's fitness dropped to 76%. Could he be a contender for half-time sub? The answer to that is no, because Dimble's saying no change, no problem. So we kick off the second half. 10 minutes go by, nothing happened at all. And another 10 minutes go by with very little happening. Just waiting for the ball to go out of play. There we go. 66 on the clock. Still 0-0. Of the players remaining on pitch for the Vikings, no one now rating below a 7. No one on a card, and no one below 83%. So I think Jens will be quite pleased with that. Interested to see how much he wants to go for it in this situation. And the answer is that they roll. Thank you very much, Jens. As for East Coast, let's move over and have a look at their side. Again, no one below a 7. Toby and Stan both on 8s. Kewell and Ferguson remain the only players on yellow cards. Stanic dropped further to 70. Nobody else, though, below 85 as far as I can see. Just waiting confirmation from East Coast as to what they would like to do. Oh, for God's sake. Just reply to this. And here is the confirmed changes. Stanic is coming off. Straight little arrow. Kovalchuk. No problem. and we go through to the game's conclusion. Oh, and a glorious chance that was for Vikings, and another one that misses the target. Are they going to rue these missed chances? Heading towards injury time. Into injury time. Yellow card for Kaladza. One goes over the bar for Vikings. And East Coast have done it. And he didn't even mean it. Hussein with the last kick of the ball. And he has just got 3 points. Vikings have missed chance after chance after chance. And a complete fluke from Dari Hussein secures the points. His 5th of the season. Kuehl spotted him in the area and chipped the ball ahead of him. He flicked the ball on and scored a fluke goal. Jens saying knew it would happen. Tato saying wow, and Martin saying robbed. I mean, it's not really a robbery. Both sides had the same amount of chances, same amount on target. The fact that Vikings played the majority of that match with 10 men, though, deserves an element of praise. They had a better tackle completion by the end of the game, passing completion just about edged it, and they were slightly better in the air. But they weren't better where it counts, and that is the scoreboard. Rio Ferdinand, 9. Cafu, man of the match, 9. Solid performances from Vikings. Amazing what when you've got that element of luck can do. I mean, you look at Hussein there, he's ended up rating a 6 despite scoring, and Taibbi also getting a 9 rating. Coast begin game week 9 with a victory. Next, the other manager who asked for an early start because he has been on early starts himself this week and is very tired. We go to Foss Road, who make one change from last time out. Alex starts in place of Dalmat, who drops to the bench. Last time out, of course, they had that big 3-1 win away from home against Dudley Hill. Can they repeat that against Badgers, who themselves go as is completely from their last game, which was that 1-0 win that we saw earlier over East Coast. So we go to match 2 of the evening, and it is Badgers at home to Foss Road in their green kit. Jens wants to send a complaint on the referee for us after the game. No problem, and he's left. And Giggs opens the scoring for the home side. Badgers go 1-0 up against Foss Road. And it's 2, it's Rossini. Tulin didn't move, and they're looking for a third before half-time. Failed to convert. 4 minutes being added on at the end of this half. Foss could do with one back before the break. They certainly didn't want to go in 3-0 down, but that is what they've done. 3-0 to the Badgers, and they have been rampant. Plenty of shots, plenty on target. The keeper's been busy. Alf's saying the picture's fuzzy. If anyone else can let me know if they've got a similar problem. Got no warning signs here. Tato going as is till 60 as we just click over. Close performances from Simeone, Giggs and Rossini in that first half. As for Foss Road, Nigmatulin having an absolute howler. 5s as well for Cliver and Van der Vaart. And Smuts wants a petition to go into only play at home. You literally won on Sunday night away from home. Just seeing the conversation there between Tato and Alf regarding the picture quality. Smut's probably going to make wholesale changes to try and not be embarrassed here. Does Nigmatulin come off? Can we see Peruzzi coming on for 45? How much does he back his number 1? And here come the changes. Well, there was no late limbs last night because there was some sort of crime documentary on that my co-host couldn't get away from his good lady wife to come and record for you all for your entertainment purposes. So by all means, anything that we would have discussed on limbs that you want to discuss tonight, throw in the chat as well. It's just me, so we can fly through topics. So we're doing Peruzzi on. Down that for Van der Vaart. Arrows on wing backs. No problem at all. As we go to the hour mark, Foster in danger of being run over here because Badgers look like they could score at every opportunity. And now Maresca goes off injured. The documentary was called American Nightmare. This is a bigger nightmare. It's just got worse with the very influential Enzo Maresca going off injured. Does Michael Owen come on? Is there a change of shape? Does Yakubu come on just to try and keep an element of strength in that midfield to stop Badgers just, like as I said earlier, running rampant through them? It is the hour mark as well, so we'll also show the Badgers team in case Tato wants to do anything. In fact, we can do that now while we wait for. This was Toldo on a 9, a couple of 8s throughout as well. Giggs also on a 9. Rossini keeps still on his 9 as well. Not that Tato cares about this bit, but no conditional issues, no disciplinary issues. Very much, this is a textbook Ian Edwards as it is for Tato here, really. While we still wait for news on what is happening to Maresca. Just when the game's gone. No worries, Tato, thank you. And as for Foss, Yakubu on and back into DM. To the left of Vieira. There we go. Let's resume the action. I was changed it to 720. I normally have it. Is it 1080 when I used to watch it? Go. Top quality. 85 on the clock. It's still 3-0. 4 minutes, I believe that says, being added on. But it ends as it was at half time. Badgers doing all the damage in that first half. And Foss Road just unable to lay a glove on their host. Ryan Giggs ending, on a 10, as did Rossini. But Giggs picking up the Man of the Match award. Foss Road, it was just chalk and cheese from their performance at the weekend. And Smuts will be very, very disappointed in that. But he can go and get some sleep now, hopefully. As we move on to Stackington versus LSK. LSK without Bowyer. They've made a few changes to the team, which sees, see if I can remember all these. Bergkamp come in, Guerrero come in, Kaluzhny come in as part of a shake-up. Very, very strong-looking bench there. Interestingly, though, Jamie risking no goalkeepers. No, he certainly doesn't need me. He's got a more than capable assistant, Alf. As Stackington, the news broke that Amoroso's out for at least a month, which has seen a bit of a shake-up in the squad. As we look at the tactics, we can see Defoe is in, Rayed is in as well. They've been called up from the reserves and feature in this game. Last time out, they had that 0-0 draw with Exiles. Apologies if you can hear phone tones in the background. That's as my new phone and old phone continue to exchange data. Pizarro gives LSK the lead. Big game at the bottom of the table, this. Coming up to half time. 3 minutes being added on before the break. And we get to half time. The home side have had more attempts, 4-3, but they've only had one of those 4 on target, whereas LSK have had 2 scoring with 1. Jamie will be happy to see that. 7 throughout, apart from the front 2 for Stackington, which just suggests that the supply isn't quite there for them yet. And then as LSK, Pizarro, Birdcamp, and is that Lazans all on 8. Only Kaluzhny rating a 6 or lower. Wait to see what both managers want to do about this at the break. 1-0 to the away side in this crucial battle at the bottom, as I said. And they say men can't multitask, but here I am, while streaming this, also helping someone else who's looking to go from Twitter Spaces to live streaming. So we've got an as is from Stackington. I wonder if LSK are planning on changing anything. I was saying it's hard at the bottom, don't get many breaks. He played a narrow formation and won last time up against one of the fancy teams in the division. Jamie also going as is, so we rolled to 60. Oh, Vasilyuk with a huge chance there. Oh, I've gone too early, sorry. And then there's Rayed on his debut, levelling things up for Stackington. It is 1 apiece. The man on the yellow card, but a crucial goal for the Stackington number 45. No one dropping below 81% in terms of fitness on the 63-minute mark. As I said, only Rayed on a yellow and everyone rating a 7 or above. And Tato's very, very happy to see that. And again, an as is. Let's move over to LSK. Who, again, only Guerrero rating below a 7. He's on a 6. No yellow cards. And nobody below 83%. And that is Dennis Bergkamp. As I said earlier, very, very strong bench at LSK. Very capable of turning this game around if they want to. Waiting on the news from LSK to filter through. Looks like there might be something happening. And here is the change. So it's Guerrero for Tristan. 3 up top. I'm guessing you want Aymar centrally. If not, just let me know. I can move him back out slightly left of centre. Alf suggesting that Stackington can win this. Well, we will soon find out once we resume the action. Written confirmation that I'm our positioning. A lot of dead air time this, unfortunately. While we wait, I'll just give it another 25 seconds and then I'll just go as this is. It's the danger of no co-coms. There's no one for me to talk to during extended breaks while managers make decisions. Hopefully we'll be back to normal in terms of people putting themselves forward for co-coms from Sunday. Right, still nothing from Jamie, so I'm just going to go with it. And if something comes through in the meantime, not much I can do now. And there is red again. Makes it 2-1, and they've come from behind. But Vasilyuk levels things up on 83 minutes. It's 2 apiece. 2 minutes being added on. Are we going to get a winning goal? We're not. And the big game at the bottom finishes 2 apiece. Alf asking where the cat is. Having a nap at the minute, I believe, behind me. Stackington had 11 shots on goal, 7 on target. LSK 7 with 4. The away side much better pass completion rating, tackle completion rating much better for the home side, who also won stuff in, or won 2/3 in the L. 2-goal hero. Red picks up man of the match. Hippier with a very good performance as well. While LSK can't be too disappointed with their performance, and Didier Gat in particular doing very, very well. Next, we go to Northern Burn versus Dudley Hill. One change from Burn from last time out. Montero's back and back next to Turam. Mourinho moves out of the squad entirely. That is the only change from their 1-0 win over Haggis in the last game. Dudley Hill, as we saw earlier, they got beat 3-1 away from home. Oh, sorry, Dudley Hill were at home. They got beat 3-1 at home to Foss Road. They make one change. Vogel comes back in for Decor, who misses out entirely. And there's Tato talking about the man who did so well in the last game. Let's kick this one off. Northern Burn versus Dudley Hill. And it's 1-0 to the home side. No, it's not. It's been ruled out for offside. Ortega losing out. And, well, I saw the social media post say how solid Rustico had been. He is now injured. We will wait to see what Steve wants to do. I imagine Soroczynski's coming on. Yeah, and there is confirmation that it's a straight swap with Soroczynski. Still 0-0, despite the disallowed goal for Northern Burn. And it's a penalty now, and Montella scores, and Burn have the lead. It looked in the text commentary, it said it was harsh. Steve will not be happy with the official there. Alf asking if I've formed a Super League managers consortium yet to play elsewhere. And Duff scores to make it 2-0 on the stroke of half-time. And does that put the game out of reach for Dudley, who've only had one attempt on goal, and it wasn't even on target. Burn scoring with both theirs on target. Alf, I'd love to put a Super League consortium forward, but I don't believe between us, despite having the financial muscle of Maka and the physical muscle of Jens, that we can raise the minimum 8.6 million that Clem Morfuni wants to sell the club for. Ian going as is, no real surprise there. The ratings just look absolutely rancid for Dudley Hill. they could change just about everybody based on that. The returning Johan Vogel on a 7. Roy Mackay and Mark van Bommel trying to offer a little bit of respite, but littered across the rest of the team. It is just rank average. Steve's making changes. Sorry. So the sub is being subbed. Woodgate on his own. And Dudley Hill are going for it. Relentless success from the boys in orange, says Tater. Let's go to 60 then. And see if Dudley can play themselves back. It says Turam goes in the book. Dudley Hill have had a bit of pressure here. And then it all flies, but Montella gets his 5th of the season. And that is game, set, and match. A little bit against the run of play, but you would say that they've just weathered a bit of a storm and got a deserved goal for doing so. Good performances from the likes of Candeo there on a 9 despite a yellow card. And Taylor now up to 5 for the season after his brace tonight. Oh, excuse me. Could Ian be considering changes here, thinking the game's done and resting a couple, avoiding suspensions for a couple, avoiding injuries for a couple? We will shortly find out. Does he think that Steve's Dudley Hill side are dead and buried and the game is won in just 63 minutes? Here is confirmation. So Skulls for Palermo. To the left. And this is Mr. Edwards saying that he's going for the jugular. Taylor Central. And there are all the changes. As for Dudley Hill, they only have Hersey left. They've still got, well, Malewski there on a 5. So many 6s. It's unreal. The one thing they don't have is anyone on a yellow card or anyone who is lacking fitness-wise. You said no. Oh, shit. Oh, it's because they're in the wrong order. Sorry, mate. It's because I'm so used to seeing a keeper here, but you always have your keeper second. I was always going to get one wrong. Sorry, mate. And in the time that I've managed to sub a keeper on and off again, no word yet from Steve. And Roy Mackay is the man being brought off for no worries at all. So change is made. Burn already free to the good. Well, it's not an injury, but it is a red card. Oh dear. It was always going to happen, wasn't it? Roy Keesby, is that his second red card of the season, or did he get a yellow card suspension? I seem to think he's already missed games for suspension this year. What's a shame is Raymer would have been the perfect player to bring on for Montella. Yes, it's an absolute shambles. I take full responsibility for Roy Keane getting sent off. Good job it's happened in a game where the opposition aren't even laying a glove on you. Of course, Steve, this means you can also change stuff if you want to, so do let me know. Just waiting for both managers to confirm their intentions, given the red card and 79 minutes for Roy Keane. Totti to DMC, that's all. Okay, no problem. Steve? So we're going Messi central striker, Vogel and VB up to CM. We want arrows on all three. No worries. Now Ian wants Fiore central as well. No worries at all. Let's see. Oh, I see yellow for Montero. Look like he might get sent off as well. Dudley get one back for Comandini, his 5th of the season. But that is all it was. Just a consolation. The whistle goes. It was better from Dudley in the second half, assisted by that Roy Keane red card and my substitution error. But Byrne were just far too strong. And yet another defeat for Dudley. Back-to-back defeats now. Something that Steve may worry about slightly. I feel I clicked that a bit too quick. So, the amount of sixes in those ratings, it's not great at all. Not great at all. Next, we're going to Sloths against Fulchester. Alf against Macca. The only change for Fulchester from last time out, Constantinu starts with Crespo dropping to the bench. Of course, they won 2-1 at home to LSK, currently sitting 9th in the table. Sloths have gone as is after their miraculous 3-0 win at home to Sancte that moved them off the bottom. They're now in 13th level on points. Of course, they've seen Stackington and LSK play, so they know what tonight can bring for them. Still waiting on the returns of Addo and Figo, who are both in the reserves, still very injured. Let's kick this one off and see if Sloths can pick up another result. They've been given a penalty and Adilson scores, and Sloths are 1-0 up again. What have Fulchester got in the locker? Yellow card for Wellens. And a yellow card, I believe that might be for West. Another yellow dished out. Hot shots everywhere from Sloths as they try and double their lead. Collins, who of course turned up for late training, and the assistant manager was not happy in the news ahead of this game, but he's very much involved. Half-time, 1-0. And look at that, Sloths, 5 attempts, 3 on target. Fulchester only managing 1 attempt. And I mean, Fulchester's passes, tackles and headers look good, look strong. But overall, Sloths are doing a number on their visitors. Looking at the ratings, fair few sixes in there for Sloths, which is a bit of a surprise. Alf saying in the chat, need another goal. Martin saying, come on, you Sloths. Collins, as I mentioned there, he's dropped to 68% due to his lack of professional training. Fulchester, they're looking strong. They've got Wellens and Materazzi booked. No one below 89 at the halfway point. Alf saying poor in the air. And here's Duggan, mate, who says, said it Sunday, the narrow is the business against the Super League standard formations. Could we see more people adopting a super narrow in the not too distant? Alf saying he missed the condition. Does that suggest that Collins may well be coming off at halftime? I'll wait for managers. What's everyone's plans for the weekend? I'm off to watch the Gareth Southgate musical tomorrow. Looking forward to that, something a little bit different. Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for popping in. Troy Deeney's been sacked by Forest Green already. Yeah, he was in charge for about 6 games. Gareth Southgate gig. Yeah, not quite a gig. No, it's a West End production based on, I don't know if it's based on the Croatia game or the Italy game. I would say Italy. Either manager could decide what they want to do. That would be great. Keep the show moving along. I'm not even sure if Macca's about, to be fair, but Alf, I'll give you another 15 seconds, otherwise I'll just carry on as it was. Oh yeah, sorry, Alf, didn't see yours. My system 60, let's go. I can do that for you, hang on. Light, how about, find out which one's light. How's that? We've got to the hour mark. Collins still 64%. West is the player on the yellow. Okay, let's try one of the other ones. I quite like this one, I think. How's the volume against my voice, Ian? Is it good balance for you? We've got Trezeguet coming on. And for the benefit of Macca when he watches this back, here are the ratings at 60 and the conditions. Looks like Sloss could get a second here. Into injury time. And they have got a second. It's Adilson again. And they have got the win. 2-0. That's successive wins for Sloths. And Alf is marching his men up the table. They have dominated the opposition. That's very, very poor finishing from Fulchester. 5 attempts, none on target. Good. I'm glad you're happy, Ian. Looking at the pass completions, exactly the same. Tackles 1. I'd be disappointed if I was both sides only shading over 50%, and Fulchester winning things in the air. Sloths are never dead, says Duggan. And huge win, says Ian. Alf on the march. Maybe he doesn't need Addo and Figo back from injury. Fulchester should not have changed everything up, says Ian. They fucked it. And Dim will refer to Alf as the wily old fox. It's not bad ratings for Fulchester. It's just very, very average, unfortunately, for them. But well done, Alf. Successive wins, moving them clear of the bottom of the table. That brings us to a penultimate game, which sees Stanley, whose fans and board were not happy with the 2-0 defeat to Vikings. Not happy at all. And that has prompted Savage to pick Savage as Robbie makes his Super League debut. Samak also coming in for this game. Shao Pinto dropping to the bench. Mike, I'll give you 15 seconds or so. Tell me if you want any particular number. If not, I'll auto it. Alf and Martin congratulating each other in the chat for Sloth's turnaround in the last couple of games. It will certainly be making the likes of Jamie and Ross think about what they're doing. They don't want to get cut adrift. Mike says, whatever number, thank you very much. As for Sancte, they've had issues with fitness on that left-hand side. So they have swapped Gerard from right mid to left DM. Finnan swaps from left wing to right wing. And Gallardo plays out on the left. Last time out, they were at the wrong end of that 3-0 Sloths win. Penultimate game of the night then. We'll see Stanley at home to Sancte. This is going to be a big night for Sigalko. 18 on the clock. It looks like Stanley causing a threat. Oh, Sigalko can't let it run free, but he couldn't convert the follow-up. Half an hour now played. And Sancte are warming up to their job, it looks like. Seeing back and Ronaldinho getting heavily involved. Approaching half-time. And it is half-time, and it is 0-0. This is arguably being the best game in terms of being level and entertaining. 9 attempts between the two sides, 7 of them on target, and very, very similar ratings in all the key areas. Looking at the home side, Maxim Skalko, yellow and a 5. Everyone else pulling their weight, except him, it would seem. Conditional-wise, nothing alarming. As for Sancte, there's a solid and dependable unit, but a couple of 6s. Shot one from Dai and Zaggy there as well. And Gallardo out in that problem left-hand side. Mike saying we're going to regret not capitalising in that first half. We've already seen one team tonight get punished for not capitalising when they had the opportunity, so you could well be right. Mike going as is. And And Duggan is changing things up. Ronnie up top alongside, no worries. Backline AMC with an arrow. Nothing else. Let's go to 60. And there's Inzaghi scoring, giving the away side the lead. Another chance goes begging for the home team. And it's 2 and it's back. And they really have been punished. And they wanted a penalty as well, Sancte. The referee said no. Maxim still on his 5 rating. Skipper Gary on a 6. Everyone else 7 or above. Conditional wise, Robbie Savage there 78%. Mr. Edwards appreciating the half-time tweet. Let's have a look at the Sancte ratings. Sol Campbell there, massive performance from him, 9 yellows for Petit and Gerrard in that crucial area. Might be a consideration. Steve Finnan on 74% condition might also be a consideration for Duggan at this juncture. This is the penultimate game of the evening. And here come the changes. So we've got Ambrosini coming on for Petit, and that's it. No worries, thank you. And then for Rose, we've got Deisler to AMC. Bring Pinto on for. Oh, hang on, sorry. Like this, and Pinto for Deisler. Deisler to AMC, which we did. Bring Pinto on for Deisler, which we've done. And David Central MC. Lovely. If anything, it looks more likely the away side get the next goal. Oh, but Sinak from nowhere! But they couldn't capitalise on it, and it ends up being 2-1. Unfortunate for the home side there. They got a goal, but they just could not build on it. And Sancte hold on for the 3 points. Looking at the player ratings, Maxim's really let his side down there, but Roberto Carlos at the complete opposite end of the scale, performing really, really well. As Sancte, solid team effort with Steve Finnan coming away with the Man of the Match award. And that takes us to our final game, which is sure to be a cracker as student and teacher come head to head. The boring exiles mix it up again in the hope of finding entertaining football. They line up like this. I mean, lots of defensive midfielders in this team, but they're lined up at least in an attacking way. They come up against Haggis, who mix up their DM line again, with Tradza and Said playing either side of Gomez. Everything else remains the same. Guigu gets a place on the bench. So let's kick off the final game of the evening and see what we have in store. Can Rox get one over Ian, or will Ian prove that he knows the game inside out? Well, they've got an injury, and it's a crucial injury at the back. Skipper Walter Samuel going off. I can see potentially Saeed dropping back, or is Tread as well is another one who could drop back with Guigu coming on is my prediction. So it is Transit that drops back. Thank you, Ian. Yeah, that reads right to me. Veron with a chance. And Haggis got the other end of this Delvecchio with his first of the season that gives the away side the lead. Will this open the floodgates? And should Rocks be under some pressure? I mean, I know it's his first year in the Super League, but Exiles were a playoff team last year, and he's done a lot of business to make the squad his own. If these results carry on and levels of performances, I mean, that's just not very good. Haggis scoring with their only shot on target. Veron on a 6, Santos on a 6, everyone else on a 7, bar Nesta, who is on an 8. No yellow cards and no conditional issues. As for Haggis, only Delvecchio is on an 8. Everyone else is on a 6 or a 7. Cannavaro, Gomez, Saeed, all on bookings as well. Nothing too much to worry about conditionally. So the news from Haggis, Jacques for Robert, swap with Pires. Thank you very much. And Exiles, move on to AMC, centralize all. Okay. And we resume the second half. And it's a red card for Gomez. Wow, big moment this. And of course, Rocks, you can change stuff as well. Fair few injuries and red cards tonight. Certainly going to be disrupting a few squads in the next pack. FFS indeed, Ian. Take arrows off the DMs. No worries. And pull Delvecchio back to CM, but keep the arrow onto AM. No worries at all. Rox, anything for you, please? And here is the change. And it's actually a manager utilising the chance to make an extra substitution. Get KSS on for Petit and put him to the left of the front two. Could the former Haggis man prove a difference maker here? They want a penalty, but it's only a corner. Ian saying this is grim. We've reached the hour mark. Any additional changes? Only Santos on a 6 for Exiles. Everyone else on a 7. Bar Nesta, who is on an 8. No conditional issues, no discipline issues. But they have got the issue in terms of the scoreline. Arrow on Veron, I can see there. Thank you. Put Santos into the middle. Presume he wants Marzi centrally. No subs is the claim there. Just confirm the Tamazi thing for me, please. And Rock's saying perfect, lovely, thank you. As for Haggis, they've already made a couple of substitutions. They also have one less man, so it'd be interesting to see what, if anything, Ian does here. Canavar and Saeed on those yellows as well. Vieri and Van Nistelrooy both on 6s. Final game of game week 9. Just a consideration when you're looking at your squad pack for the next one. I'm trying to work out how the days fall, but there's another Australia game coming up shortly, so there'll be a new squad announcement. Again, it'll only be picked from reserves, so anyone that you don't want picking, make sure you ask me to put into your first team squads ahead of the next game, please. So we've got Grady coming on and moving into MC. Like this. Looks good to me based on Ian's comments there. Duggan trying to like that. 15, says Franks. Lovely. Let's resume the action. See if these changes from the sides can make for an entertaining conclusion. Oh, and Haggis have a goal ruled out. They were nearly 2 up. 71 now on the clock. Haggis look the more likely again. So we move towards injury time. And it is 2, it's Del Vecchio again. Well, Ian would not be bettered by his former transfer guru and coaching assistant. Haggis on the final game of the night running out to 2-0 winners, and deservedly so when you look at those ratings. Not awful, although Santos had a bad game for Exiles. The rest of the ratings look pretty solid. Rock says, my God. Haggis, Cannavaro on a 9. Del Vecchio as well, running wild all over Rocks. So that takes us to the classified results. Badgers 3, Foss Road 0, Exiles 0, Haggis 2, Burn 3, Dudley 1, Sloths 2, Fulchester 0, Stackington 2, LSK 2. The only draw of the night, that. Stanley 1, Sancte 2. And finally, Vikings 0, East Coast 1. Leaves the league table looking like this. We've got Burn on 19, Badgers 18, Coast and Vikings 17, Foss and Haggis 14. Then we go below the dotted line. Stanley also 14, Sancte and 8, 13, Dudley Hill 9, 11, Fulchester 10 on 10, Exiles 11 with 9, Sloths up to 12 on 8, while LSK and Stackington are in 13th and 14th. On 6 points apiece. Fixtures for Sunday: Coast Fulchester, Exile Sloths, huge game down the bottom end. Haggis Dudley Hill, LSK Vikings, Sancte Foss, massive game at the either side of the dotted line. Stackington Badgers and Stanley Burn. Packs will be out most likely tomorrow evening when I get back from the Southgate show. And then again, I will put it in the chat, but comms is available for Sunday if you are interested. Please do just give me a message to let me know. Otherwise, it'll be me and we'll play the nice calming music again. Here's just a couple of stats just to get you through. Thank you for your company this evening. Very much appreciated. And we will see you again on Sunday. But for now, from Super League HQ, good night.